forgot that part, just in case you need it for something. Got that part. All right, we are live.
Hey, everybody. Go Giants!
Hey.
Hey. Hey. What a surprising series of events at the end. I couldn't believe that. It went from.
Sorry. I have some feedback from the other.
Yes, I was trying to figure out what was happening.
I
I
have
was
some
just
feedback
like,
from the other thing, so I'm sorry about that. Sorry, son. Keep going.
okay, so we had some surprising series of turn of events. Saquon fumbling it had me questioning why I liked him. I was very upset for a second. He almost ruined my whole night. Then you've got Wan'Dale Robinson with the big catch. Of course, Tommy DeVito is the one responsible for throwing him that said catch. But it was all just everything from that fumble to the end. I was just silent. I didn't really speak. I kind of just sat there and tried to process. I didn't want to say anything negative or positive. I just kept it neutral and watched it all to the end. And the Giants showed that they have some fighting left in them and that they want to turn this around. And it's almost as if they still believe that they could salvage this season based off of how they played tonight against a team who felt the exact same way. They could salvage their season. Both teams came into that game with, if we win, we have a chance. So, and the team that basically wanted it more came out on top. That's what I got from it. You've got the defense with Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Ojulari coming in the menaces at the pass rush tonight. Excellent job for them. Good job to them. Good job to those guys. I love Deonte Banks, Dory Jackson, Cordell Flott. Although Cordell Flott made a mistake early on in the game, he still came in and played tough all the way through the end. The secondary looks like they're coming along. They still have some bumps to make out in terms of the first half of the game, but the second half is where our team seems to be coming together, especially the defense. Tommy DeVito is really managing with the resources that he has, and I can't say that enough. I'm very surprised and shocked. I don't want to say he's doing spectacular, but I will say that he's doing what he needs to do, which is get us wins. So far, he still hasn't lost the game as the starting quarterback, meaning he starts the game from start to finish.
Yep.
He still hasn't lost the game.
Yeah.
It's game management when it comes down to it. And that's really what all he needs to do when he has someone like Saquon Barkley he can able to defer to. And Wan'Dale Robinson, who seems to be coming out. And, I thought he was going to do this last season, but he got injured early and it kind of messed up his whole flow. But now that he's back, he has something more to prove because he wants to make sure he has a spot secured for next season. Because I don't remember how long his contract is, but he wants to make sure these guys understand that he's here to stay because that is a very valuable weapon that we have developing right now, right in front of our eyes. Wan'Dale Robinson is amazing. How did you feel about the game? I don't want to take up all the time.
I agree with you. Wan'Dale Robinson, definitely, if he was concerned about his job, he probably has less to worry about, right? I thought about that, all those runs and those
big catches
that he made.
He's good at running routes too. Very good at running routes, creating space.
He definitely, he had some growing pains in the beginning of the season, if you will. But that was wonderful to see that. And it was just nice to see the offensive team members working together. I mean, when those runs with Devito, when he was rushing, and I saw Saquon blocking. I mean,
yeah, they galvanized behind Devito.
Yeah, and it allowed him to break free out of the pocket, and that's exactly, we've been needing that.
Yes.
We're not watching a statue, Daniel Jones, standing there trying to because it was often exactly. Yeah,
he takes way too long to make his decision.
Is this? Because he
was getting hit or yes.
That's a shame. We shouldn't talk about it, but he did. With as many sacks that he took on this season, I guess it's a good laugh. I mean, but did I miss a sack, or there was no sacks tonight? Did Tommy get sacked? Did I miss one or two? Maybe he had one. Did he get sacked?
I was drinking some alcohol tonight just to prepare So I honestly don't remember. But you want to know something? I also don't remember raging about him getting sacked either.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
would
It's
remember
true.
that because I always go, I always get upset because it's like, here we go again. But you want to know something? Speaking of sacks, Tommy Devito has been sacked 28 times since he's
Already?
been playing for the. Yes. So which I believe is the most by a starting quarterback, like, or at least by someone who started a quarterback, as from like when they first start to, how many ever games they played. It's the most, I think, ever in NFL history in that stretch of games. So I think it's a blessing that he hasn't gotten hit at all this game. If he did, it couldn't have been that bad. And again, if there was a sack, it was maybe one. But usually they put up five, given on their statistics. They usually put up five. So
Yeah.
you know what? Go offensive line for doing a little better tonight. I didn't really see that much pressure. There was pressure, but at some times, but Devito was able to get out of the pocket and get those yards. And shame on the refs for not giving us that call where he was hitting the face mask with the guy's shoulder.
Yeah, that was.
Although they said it wasn't enough, they would have gave that to Mahomes, or if Brady was still in the league or someone of that caliber or stature, they would have gave them that call. I don't care what
Absolutely.
anyone says. But because it's the Giants and it's Tommy DeVito, even if it was Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor, none of them are getting that call.
It's
So
true.
it is what it is.
It's
And
true.
then also, I believe there was a shady no call. There were actually really every game it happens. Dexter Lawrence has held every freaking play. It's all the time. And there were some plays where there was actually one of the touchdowns in the second half. There was a hold on the offensive line, and they didn't call it. And all I kept saying was, who cares about if it was a catch or not? There was holding on the play. And it was very blatant because the guy's arm was being held like this, and he was trying to get off, and the guy went like this and put his arm up. They didn't call it. It was like at some point at the end of the third quarter, that's when it happened, somewhere around then. So that's one thing that I really wish the refs would do better on when it comes to the Giants games. But it's never going to happen. The Giants always get screwed over with the calls. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We came out with the win. Our kicker recovered from his failed 38-yard kick. That
the pressure that young man must have been on. Well, he's not that young because apparently he's been bouncing around. This is his second go around. They said with the Giants. I thought I remember we had a Bullock as a kicker at one point.
Yeah,
but the pressure he must have felt in that last 2 seconds. Which, by the way, I'm not feeling leaving only 2 seconds for that final kick play. I think we couldn't it have been left 6 seconds? We could have probably left 6 seconds on at least to take care. I mean, we didn't need to take it all the way down to 2. But anyway, there's been some clock issues, and we were there for the game where Dayball and friends had major clock issues at the end.
That was a waste.
But anyway,
of a game. That was
the pressure
a waste.
he must have been on, Bug must have been on, psychologically knowing that in the beginning he messed up those 3 points. And here's the thing, we wouldn't have needed the 3 points at the end.
No.
If he had gotten the 3 points at the beginning.
Right. It just would have been clock management.
Yep.
But that's just been the story of the Giants all season, if we're being honest. It's a lot of missed opportunities. We had a missed opportunity on the interception in the first half. We should have definitely scored off of that, but we didn't. It's a squandered opportunity, as the mom likes to say. My mom always says squandered opportunities. We had a lot of those tonight, and we've had those all season. We keep giving yes, you can say it like this. We keep giving the other team gifts when we don't score off of their turnovers. And they turn the ball over a lot. When the Giants are playing the way they do on defense like that, they force turnovers, just like they did tonight. So it's going to happen again where we force turnovers. The only question is, will we squander those opportunities? We'll be able to find out in the next games coming up. I think we have the Rams next, correct? I believe it's the Rams. If it's not the Rams, it's
the Rams.
It's either the Eagles or the Rams. It's the Saints. I believe we play the Saints. The Saints, then the Eagles, then the Rams, then the Eagles.
It's an interesting schedule that remains. The way things are going, yes, the Saints are on the 17th.
I don't know how that game's going to go after watching this game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It could go. It could. The way it's, I love the phrase "any given Sunday," and I feel that could happen with the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's possible. I feel that that's just something that could happen. I think the Giants could win this if we have another defensive battle the way we did. And if Wan'Dale Robinson can continue the play he has been, and everyone else just plays hard football. It's not about being elite. It's just about playing tough football. And the Giants have been known in the past for playing tough football. That's what we
Yep.
were really, really known for. If they can
Yeah.
just get back to that, it doesn't have to be pretty. If we could just get the win, like this wasn't a pretty win. We had to literally pull the win out of our ass, basically, this game. Wandale Robinson with a big time play. Basically, everything was on that play right there. If that wasn't like secured, I don't know if we win the game, because that basically gave us the zone that we needed, or rather the comfort zone that we needed for our kicker to hopefully recover, which he did from his missed kick. So, any other last thoughts, Mom, before we close?
Well, I don't know how we end up with the Christmas games,
Oh.
but maybe I blocked it out. But when I looked to see who we were playing next, I just noticed that it's the Eagles Giants Christmas game. I don't know how that happened, and unfortunately, the son and I are going to be in an environment that will not be Giants friendly on Christmas Day. It will be a hostile Eagles environment for sure. But I don't know how they do these schedules, but I wish they would stop. I don't think we need to be on any sort of holiday Christmas game. But anyway, it's a nice vibe that we're getting from the Giants. But I feel like we are, even though we're winning, we're still losing because we still have a quarterback issue. Is Tommy DeVito doing well? Absolutely. Is he the answer for seasons forward? Not yet. Maybe one day he could be. I'm not going to knock the guy out of the box completely. But we still have the Daniel Jones issue. He's got that huge contract. And he's iffy. We don't know what we're going to get back. So at the end of the day, they still need to go for a quarterback in the draft. And being in fourth position would have been better than being further up the chain, if you will.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen draft wise. The fact that from what I was hearing all day in sports media was that, if the Giants won tonight, that they would actually be one game away from playoff contention, which I never even imagined. So we'll see what happens. It's nice to not be angry about the Giants game.
Yes, I agree. It's great to actually start feeling better. I know earlier on, Giants fans out there who've been watching, I've been saying let's just tank, and I don't want you to think that I've accepted the loser's mentality. It's more so what makes sense logically when you're playing that bad like we were early on. If you're going to perform like that and give up 40 plus sacks by week 5, clearly the issue is that you need to develop the offensive line, and maybe you need to get another quarterback, because at this point, the one that we have, will there be anything left if he's already been sacked 40 freaking times in week 5? Look what happened to Daniel Jones.
It's true.
He's out.
It's true.
So we paid $160 million for that, and we aren't able to protect it. So it's just these decisions. This is what we're dealing with right now. So that's why I thought that.
Before you continue, I didn't even tell you. We do have people watching live, so thank you for joining us live.
Ah, yes.
We don't go live very often at all.
No, we do not.
But it's a very late game, and the son didn't feel like editing an episode.
No, it takes a long time. And plus, we got to celebrate, and that takes time because we got to coordinate the song, and we got to figure out what we want to do for the outro. It becomes a lot. By the time I'm done, I'm like, it's 1 in the morning, and I got to be up at 7 something or 8 to get ready for work.
Yeah. So thanks to the NFL, we've had all these primetime games, which
for whatever reason,
because I think they thought that even like us, when they were doing the schedule, thought that we'd be showing up better than what we have. But it's just been a really crappy season. We're showing up better now. It's for me, it's too late. But what are we going to do? We take what we could get. We still have people joining right now. We have some commentary. Oh. Payo.
Hey, what's going on, Payo? How you doing, man?
The Ramley says, thank you for beating the Packers. Oh, wow.
Yes. Down, pack down.
Tom McKeon, I think it is, says, yay, what a game. Ron Harris, hi, family. Good game, Tommy. Winning drive.
Yes.
Victor Padilla. It's a great game. So thank you everybody for
Thank you,
joining us.
everybody.
It's
We appreciate
amazing.
it.
Like I said, we don't go live very often, but it's something
No.
that we thought it was important to do tonight. And if you haven't subscribed, if you know people who haven't subscribed, let them know that
Mm-hmm.
we're the only mother and son and the first mother and son, because there could be another one soon, but there's no other first. We are the first mother and son to do
Yes.
any type of NFL related programming on YouTube, post game show, especially for the Giants. That's how we do.
Absolutely.
And we're going to
Authentic.
continue to do that. We try to do it even when we're traveling, or
Mm-hmm.
one of us will do it, and all that type of great stuff. But really, really thank everybody for watching and supporting us, and I guess keep our fingers crossed that in the end, regardless of how we end up, that we'll still have a halfway decent pick to get a halfway decent quarterback in the draft.
If that doesn't happen, lineman.
Yeah, well, we need that too.
Lineman. I would just go for we need more guards.
Yeah,
Our guards are terrible.
yeah,
We need another tackle. It's just honestly, it just feels like everything across the board is just atrocious. But
yeah,
it's mainly because we never have stability. It's always just the line's always shifting. So if we can get stability on that offensive line, then we can worry about the quarterback and everything else. But I can't worry about the quarterback right now. We already paid 160 million. We've got to actually just stick with him for the next 2 years at least minimum, and then we can get rid of him on his final year. Maybe some team will be stupid enough to take him. I don't know who, and I don't know what we get for him, but it'd probably be no more worth than a bag of chips. So I don't know.
we do have another question from Starboard. Do y'all think Devito is better than Jones? Son.
Yes. All right. You just all right. You just opened up a can of worms. All right, so I have to break this down. Look at what Tommy DeVito is doing with the offensive line that he has right now. It's not that fantastic, right? But neither is what Daniel Jones was doing with that offensive line. In fact, I'd argue what Daniel Jones did was worse. Daniel Jones sits and stares in the pocket at the same receiver the whole time. Everyone always knows where it's going, which is why everyone's always covered, because he's sitting there staring down his routes. And then by the time he's made his decision to leave the pocket, he's either getting sacked or it's too late for him to rush out of the pocket, so he gets tackled anyway, but if it's not a sack. So you look at Tommy DeVito, he has slightly a little more awareness in the pocket, just enough, because he gets out fast enough. He makes his decision to leave the pocket a lot quicker than Daniel Jones. When it comes to throws, it just looks a little prettier when Tommy DeVito throws it. I wouldn't say Tommy DeVito is a starting quarterback by any means, but that's also just what Daniel Jones is not. Daniel Jones is
Yeah.
not a starting quarterback. I'm sorry. If you are a Daniel Jones fan, I hate to say it. He never was a starting quarterback caliber quarterback, even when I felt he was, when I thought it, when I was fooled and scammed into believing it. Daniel Jones is not a starting quarterback. You look at his stats from last season, those are the equivalent of a backup quarterback. Backup quarterbacks get 16 touchdowns in a season. Backup quarterbacks, not starting quarterbacks. So when you look at Tommy DeVito, yes, he was sacked 28 times in 4 games. But you want to know something? That is also a byproduct of the offensive line being atrocious as it is and being inconsistent with how often it changes week to week. So, but it's just think about that. Tommy DeVito comes in as an undrafted free agent, third string. The backup is gone. So now he has to come in and play. He comes in with basically a little prep. I don't want to say a little prep because he's always preparing. But when you're the third string quarterback, are you seriously thinking you're going to get the time to play? Not really. But we're in a game or day and age where the game is physical enough where this is happening on a regular basis. And Ryan Clark said it this morning on ESPN First Take. He said the backup quarterback is becoming, I'm sorry, not Ryan Clark, it was Bart Scott. He said the backup quarterback position is about to become one of the most valuable positions in the NFL because the starting quarterback is getting hurt way too much.
Yeah.
And it's real. It's getting real.
It's true.
Yeah. So when it comes to Tommy DeVito, I think he's a solid backup quarterback right now where he is, which is actually slightly better than what Daniel Jones is because Daniel Jones is just a backup quarterback. I think Tommy DeVito is a solid backup quarterback. If we can actually get a real first, like starting quarterback, Tommy DeVito is like a nice backup. Like if our starting quarterback, God forbid, goes down and Tommy DeVito's in there, after seeing how he plays with that grit, that Italian grit, as the NFL is trying to, advertise and push because he's Italian, he's tough or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I can see that grit, and he's got that Jersey toughness and all this other stuff. It's real. The Jersey toughness is a real thing.
It is.
Um, and
We're
he
Jersey
has it.
people. We're
Yes.
tough.
You know, it's a real
Although
thing. He
not
has it.
Italian, but I'm going to
Not
do the
Italian.
Italian first.
Just like they were doing the little Italian celebration. His whole family, I think he feels that energy from his family in the stands too, because they're putting them on the jumbotron. So I think having his family there and the support he gets from his family is helping him keep him focused too. Daniel Jones, I don't know what helps keep him focused. I don't know what he has in his corner. I don't know if it's his teammates, because whenever the teammates talk about Daniel Jones, it seems forced. I don't know. When they talk about Tommy DeVito, it seems genuine. Just like when Saquon Barkley said during the game, he said, I know they always say that Tommy DeVito is from Jersey and he's Jersey tough. He's a tough kid, but he can play football. And they all talk about how Tommy DeVito is actually good and he can play.
Yeah.
And if Saquon Barkley is giving you his approval, like stamp of approval, like, I mean, I know he kind of gave a, but I feel like his was bogus for Daniel Jones, because I know they asked him what he thinks of Daniel Jones. I think his was bogus about him, but I think he genuinely thinks Tommy DeVito can play. And from watching how he plays, he can. It's the same offensive line that Daniel Jones had,
Yeah.
but he's undefeated so far as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What is different?
You're right.
To answer your question, what is different? Nothing. The difference is that Tommy DeVito, well, I guess this is the one difference. Tommy DeVito's playing better. So yes, sorry to make that a long answer, but I needed to explain how I felt about. I can't just say yes or no. I got to explain my whole thought process. Yes, Tommy DeVito is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, and I would love to have him start if Daniel Jones returns. I don't want him to come back, even if he paid the man. Just let him sit on the bench. I don't know. Make him work for it. Prove that he actually can play better than Tommy DeVito. Because if you put Daniel Jones back out there and all we start seeing is Sack City again, no, I don't want to deal with that anymore. No, especially now that we're coming back. Don't do that now.
Right.
You want to just keep work the way it is. Keep it fluid. It's
Yeah.
working. Why
I would
change
say
it?
the same thing. I mean, um, when you're put into a situation where you're thrown, excuse me, into a situation, you do what you have to do to make sure that you give your best self. And we could be getting a little of that from him. Just like same thing with Daniel Jones. It wasn't like, he came in, it was the things were a little rocky, and then he had a new coaching system, and then he was Mr. Wonderful, and then
Right.
he sucked again this season. And another question that came in, did they pay Jones early? It probably gave him that big contract too soon, even though we went to the playoffs last season. They probably did, and the only reason they probably did it was because maybe they thought he would get plucked away from the job. I mean, they thought they would lose him. I don't know.
I think
It
it
was
was
a
egregious.
drastic decision. Let's just call it that.
Yeah,
And
I don't
I
even want
think
to
they
call it early.
realize that now, and I think they're even though they were like, oh, we're gonna stick with Jones. When he comes back, he's our quarterback. They're not saying that anymore. They're like, we're gonna look and see what the situation is.
Yeah.
And they're not saying, yes, we're absolutely gonna move on from him, because they can't, but
No.
they're sounding less positive about what they're gonna get back from him when he returns. So, I'm just hoping that at some point, we have a team that matches the coaching system, and that we just rock it out, and it's not up and down, because it's very stressful for fans. One other question. She says, why? Let's see. Hold on. I can't see. Let's see. Why? All right. Yeah. So Victor says, why change? Just keep up the momentum. Yeah. I mean, that could happen. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think they have to honor contracts and things like that.
Well, all right. So I thought about something, because that second question that was asked and you answered it. I hate to say this, guys. Daniel Jones probably will come back, because Brian Daboll has a lot of question marks that he has to answer as to why he gave Daniel Jones this money. Because he's the one who vouched for Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Joe Shane did not do anything with that. Brian Daboll said, hey, look, I coached him up. I made him a better quarterback. I think he deserves the money. And when you make a product like Josh Allen, of the Buffalo Bills when you're Brian Dable and you used to work with Bill Belichick, you have a sort of persona and a little bit of an ego
Yeah.
that comes in. And if he feels that he made Daniel Jones who he is, that's why he felt that Daniel Jones deserved that money. Not because Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, but because he made him a good quarterback, or so he thought at the time. He's like, I made him this way. We're a good, better football team because I coached Daniel Jones up.
Right.
So he should get paid. But now because he realized that was a mistake, it's almost like, hey, yo, man, I paid you this money. You got to come out and perform. So he's going to probably come back, whether we like it or not. Um, he was paid $40 million a year. And I hate to say it, I want him to sit on the bench. But Brian Daboll is not going to allow that. He's going to have to force Daniel Jones to be out there. And I don't think the Giants play around Daniel Jones. They don't galvanize around him. It's something is off-putting when I watch them play. It doesn't look like they want to play with him. Because even when Tyrod Taylor was out there, it looked like they wanted to play around Tyrod Taylor more.
Yeah.
And then now with Tommy DeVito, it really looks like they want to play around him. But when Daniel Jones is out there, I don't see that same energy. I don't see the same competitiveness, the drive, the will to win. I don't know. Do you feel the same way? I just feel like it just seems different.
It does seem different. And
specifically on offense.
100%. Defense has been somewhat consistent, and they've definitely they're pulling their weight more than what they should be.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it was wasted energy because offense wouldn't do anything after they would get all those picks and all that things that would happen. The offense wouldn't do anything with it. But yeah, they're more cohesive. And like I said, it may be a mirage, but it does seem like they are holding the offensive line is holding up better.
Yeah. And although I don't really know too much about the Packers pass rush. I do know their secondary is decent, but I don't know too much about their pass rush. That's probably why they didn't really sack us as much either. I'd have to look this up to see, but I wasn't really too concerned about the pass rush. I was just more so concerned about if the offense could even get a first down, just because sometimes that's my biggest fear is that we just go 3 and out all the time. When you're a Giants fan, you just become accustomed to 3 and outs over and over and over. Despite the team, it could be any team. It doesn't matter who it is. When you have an offensive line like we do, and Daniel Jones is the quarterback or was the quarterback, you have that PTSD, and you're like, okay, here we go. Here comes another 3 and out. But when you start seeing the Giants make plays like they did in the last couple minutes of the game, Wan'Dale Robinson or Tommy DeVito to Rondell Robinson, and Tommy DeVito to Saquon, like he was connecting short plays. He knew what he needed to do. He understood the assignment. He didn't need to make big plays, but if it was there, he took that shot. He took it.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones would have stuttered or he would have hesitated. He would have just been like, I don't know if I should make this throw. And then he would have made the throw too late. That's usually what Daniel Jones does.
That's a confidence issue then, right?
Yes, it's a confidence issue. And one of the I forget who it was. One of his teammates said that they think Daniel Jones is too smart for his own good, and he overthinks things, and that's why he also hesitates because he thinks that someone is trying to bait him or whatever. And I mean, if you're overthinking things in football, you only have about 2 to 3 seconds to make a play or a decision. So that's not effective. It's not efficient football. You got to just make your decision and go. Tommy DeVito looks like he's fearless out there in moments like that. I don't see unconfident or someone who's, worried or nervous. I don't see that in him when he's playing. And that makes me respect him the more I watch him play week to week. So, Once again, Tommy DeVito, congratulations. I'm no longer calling you Danny DeVito for now.
What? I was going to say something earlier because you were giving him the respect of using his actual name, and you haven't been doing that. So we know that homeboy is definitely brought it this week because the son actually used that man's real name
multiple times.
Call him the name of an old comedian.
Nope. It only comes out when I'm angry at him, and all I could see is the bad plays. That's the only time it comes out. But he played really good football tonight. No complaints from me tonight. And again, when Saquon made that mistake, Saquon recovered from it. Everyone recovered from it. There was no, here it is. It's over. We lost. No one gave up. There was no quit. Nobody quit. And I think the locker room is back under Brian Daboll and Tommy DeVito is kind of one of the reasons behind that, because I feel like they now feel they can do this again, although it's late in the season. Literally, one more loss kind of messes us up, I believe. I mean, it's just gonna if there would be a lot of things that would have to happen for us to stay in this hunt if we lose next week. So if we beat the Saints, we'll say alleged fantasy rhetorical hunt.
It's rhetorical. It's definitely rhetorical. It is I mean, because it is. I mean, they showed that we were up. They knew how they showed like in the hunt. Mm-hmm. We were at the bottom, but we were there. We were there,
which is crazy to think.
I saw it.
If you told me,
I don't know. I'm not getting any hopes up. I definitely don't think that we could go all the way to the Super Bowl. That is just a
don't even say that. Stop. No. Calm down.
It's crazy. I don't know. No. This team can't do that.
Don't even mention.
We're not ready.
Super Bowl. Don't even mention, Mom. Shame on you for even saying that. Shame on you for even mentioning. I said the playoffs. I don't think
we could do it.
Don't even mention that word. Don't even do that to me. Don't even do that. Don't even mention the NFC Championship. No. We just need to win games. Any game.
Yeah.
I feel like that head coach from the Colts. I can't remember his name. Playoffs? No. I just can't. Don't talk to me about playoffs. I just want to win a game, any game.
Yeah. We just want to win games, any game. We'll take it. Well, it was great going live, and I'm so glad that we had, some of our regulars pop in. We really appreciate you and joining us as we really surprisingly celebrated this evening.
Yes. Who would have thought? I can go to bed with a smile.
Yes, and maybe we could do something against the Saints. They're a little mangled, so there might be something we could do against them. We'll see what happens.
We have momentum right now. We're on a win streak, so I mean, win streaks build momentum. I don't care how you put it. Momentum is momentum.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But you guys know what to do. If you haven't subscribed somehow for some odd reason and you've been here, hit that subscribe button. Share this video with everybody. Make sure they subscribe. Of course, tell them, hey, look, join the family. The family needs to grow. The only way that happens is through us self-promoting through our own family. Share, like this video. It's very important. Comment, because this will be posted as a VOD for you guys to watch, for anyone that didn't get to watch live. It's unfortunate we don't really do this often, but maybe we'll try to do this more often when it comes to primetime games, just because it's easier for me and easier for the mother too. Really easier for us both. We don't need to be up till 3 a.m. But at least I would be.
Yeah, I'm usually sleeping while he's editing, so
I'm just sitting here like this.
It's okay for me.
I was waiting for it to upload. I'm just sitting here, just. So, thank you guys for being here. We enjoy you always coming here and spending your time with us. We love you guys with all of our hearts.
Woody Wood just typed in. Ayo, he came in with the Ayo.
Ayo.
Yes, very Jersey. It's very Jersey is getting a spotlight of the culture that's here. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll go live. Maybe we will, but we'll see. Either way,
we shall see.
We'll have an episode for you.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Go Giants.
Go Giants.
Woo!